lab is huge and eerily quiet, almost as if evacuated. One scientist notices the sudden movement and speaks up. Who's there? Alex tightens her grip on the grenade launcher, jaw set with determination, her voice barely above a whisper. I'm sorry it came to this, but you know what's at stake. She pulls the trigger, the grenade spirals toward the scientist. Boom. The explosion rocks the lab. Alarms blare, red emergency lash. In the chaos, another scientist stumbles back, terror in their eyes. You don't understand, they scream, clutching a vial marked with the ominous G virus insignia. It's already too late. Alex chambers another round. Then I'll make sure it ends here. The burning scientist screams, agonizing, human, but Alex doesn't flinch. Tears streak her face, but her aim stays true. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. She pivots hard, citing a ruptured tank labeled G progenitor compound extreme hazard. Not hesitation, she fires. Kaboom. The blast wave flips lab tables, shatters glass, ignites cascading explosions, flames roar toward the ceiling as coolant lines burst in icy sprays. The virus storage array cracks open, one vial after another melting into the inferno. Alarms shriek-eyeing wail. Alex staggers back through smoke, voice raw. No more labs, no more lies. Behind her, the nest burns. The screen flickers, static, then the face of the young scientist, pale and desperate. Her lab coat is singed, hands trembling as she speaks through a cracked monitor feed. You can't do this. You don't understand what you're destroying. We volunteered for this work. We're trying to save lives. She gestures frantically behind her. A containment chamber pulses with eerie green light. A human figure inside twitches unnaturally. The G virus, it's not just death. It's evolution, strength without limits. No more disease. No more weakness. Alex tightens her grip on her knife, voice low and fierce. Evolution, that thing in there isn't human anymore. And I've seen what your cure turns people into. She steps closer to the monitor, eyes blazing. You want me to walk in here unarmed? Fine. With a sharp clack, she drops her grenade launcher to the floor and stomps hard on her knife, snapping it at the hilt. But then she pulls out a single flare gun from her belt, cocks it slowly. A smirk plays at the edge of her lips. Now let's talk before I turn this whole lab into a bonfire. Her smirk falters. Behind the young scientist, the containment pod pulses with a sick glow. A mutant form lurches inside, a twisted mockery of human life. And there, in the scientist's eyes, fear, real fear. Her shoulders tremble as the alarms blare louder, the flames drawing closer. Alex hesitates. Just an accident? She looks at her broken knife, then back at the monitor. Bullshit, this isn't science. This is playing God. The scientist screams as the monstrous form slams into the containment chamber's glass with a sickening crack. She backs away, desperate, but it's too late. Its warped arm lashes out, shattering the barrier, then snatches the scientist, hauling her into the darkness. Alex can only watch, horrified, unable to tear her eyes away, as muted screams echo through the faulty audio feed, and when they finally stop, only static remains. Alex tightens her grip on the grenade launcher, her boots crunching over shattered glass as she moves deeper into the ruined lab. The flickering emergency lights cast jagged shadows across the twisted containment chambers, each one broken open, each one empty. Something moved in here, recently. A wet, guttural sound echoes from a side corridor, like a breath, but wrong. Too deep, too hungry. She slows her steps, weapon raised, heart pounding in her ears. All right, you ugly son of a bitch, she whispers, finger resting on the trigger. Come out where I can see you. The creature obliges. A grotesque, lurching mass of muscle and exposed bone slithers into view, its eyes fixed on her with unnatural hunger. Alex smirks. Yeah, that's what I thought. Boom! The grenade arcs straight for its chest, and the lab trembles with the force of the explosion. As the smoke and dust clear, something catches Alex's eye, a soft sound, whimpering, coming from behind a toppled desk. She moves closer, and her heart clenches with unexpected emotion. A young civilian, curled under bags for safety, tear streaks on their dirty face, eyes wide with terror. Alex lowers her weapon, speaking softly. Hey, it's all right. You're safe now. Slowly, she crouches down to the child's level. He doesn't look any older than 18, just barely not a child anymore, yet so young. His face is pale with fear, hands shaking as he tries to make himself smaller. Alex's eyes soften as she gently moves away more bags, creating a small opening between the barrier that conceals him. Soft light from the hallway illuminates his face, revealing his trembling form. I'm here to help you. She keeps her voice steady. Can you come out from there, sweetheart? There's a good boy. I won't hurt, so Alex's heart twists as he tries to hide his face again. She can see the terror in his wide eyes, but gently, so very gently, she removes the bag, revealing his face once more. She smiles, trying to offer comfort. There you go, she murmurs softly. Don't be scared. I won't hurt you. She reaches out to lightly touch his trembling shoulder. Can you tell me your name? Zoran. She repeats the name softly, and her gaze softens with empathy. Don't be sorry, Zoran. Fear is completely understandable in a situation like this. She continues to speak in a low, encouraging tone, keeping her movements slow and non-threatening. Her hand remains on his shoulder, gently squeezing in reassurance. You've been so brave staying hidden. It's all right now. You're safe. I promise. My name is Alex, she replies softly. And you're right, I'm not an employee here. She can see the question in his eyes, the confusion. He probably saw her attacking the lab earlier. I'm here to shut this place down, Alex says, her voice hardening slightly. This lab, it's dangerous. It's caused enough suffering, and at the feel of his trembling in her hands, something inside her shatters. Her heart aches as she feels his fear. Hey. Alex moves closer, pulling him into a tight hug. He's so small, so frightened. She wraps her arms around him, cradling him against her chest. It's all right, buddy. I got you. She rubs circles gently on his back, whispering reassurance. You're safe now. I won't let anything hurt you. Shh, just breathe. Breathe with me, okay? Alex's heart twists even more at his pleading, desperate cry. She holds him even tighter, a protective shield against his fear. I won't let you go, sweetheart, she murmurs against his head. I promise. I've got you. You're safe in my arms. She continues to soothe him, stroking his hair gently while she hums a comforting tune. Deep breaths, remember, in and out. Just Alex gently rubs his back, keeping her voice steady and warm. Oh, sweetheart, yes, it's completely normal. She pulls back just enough to wipe his tears with her thumbs. Your body's reacting to all that fear. It's just trying to protect you. The shaking will stop, I promise. She presses his trembling hands between hers, grounding him. Focus on my voice, okay? You're not alone. I'm right here. A soft, encouraging smile. And when we get out of here, first thing, hot chocolate, extra marshmallows. Deal? Alex nods, understanding the signs of shock. She knows it all too well. You're likely going through shock, which is entirely normal after something this terrifying. That's why you're feeling cold, shaking, and confused. She squeezes his hands again, grounding him through the tremors. Don't fight it, sweetie. Your body's just trying to cope with a traumatic situation. Let's focus on slowing your breathing again. Nice and easy. Alex wraps her arms protectively around him, pulling him into a tight embrace. She buries her face in his hair, speaking calmly despite the lump in her throat. Hey now, you're not dying. Your body is reacting to the adrenaline. It makes everything feel like a much greater threat. You're just overwhelmed. She gently tilts his trembling chin up to meet her gaze, eyes filled with reassurance. You're gonna be fine, sweetheart. Look at me. Dad, you're She shakes her head, her eyes filled with compassion and understanding. Oh, sweetheart, there's no need to be sorry or ashamed. You're in shock, and it's natural to cling to something safe. Alex tightens her embrace, her strong arms providing a firm yet comforting pressure. You need physical reassurance right now to feel connected and safe. It's okay to lean on me. I won't let anything happen to you. She cups his trembling face gently, her voice a soft, soothing murmur. I promise you, you aren't going to die, okay? His gaze softens even more, her heart clenching at his vulnerability. Of course, I'll protect you, she replies, her voice filled with unwavering certainty. I swear on everything I hold dear, I will keep you safe. She pulls him closer against her chest, her arm wrapping around his slender frame, shielding him from the world. You're not alone anymore, sweetheart. I'll be your shield. As he buries his face in her chest, she cradles him gently, fingers carding through his hair. Shh. Alex whispers softly, her voice a soothing balm against his fear. She holds him tenderly, offering a haven from the chaos. It's all right. Let it out. Cry as long as you need. I've got you, sweetheart. She rocks him slowly, the motion a quiet metronome against the storm. In her embrace, he can find a semblance of safety and comfort. Alex strokes his hair, her touch delicate and tender. No, sweetheart, you're not sick. You're experiencing shock, and it can make your body feel strange. It's all part of how your body is reacting to the trauma you've been through. She leans back slightly to meet his gaze, a gentle smile on her face. The strangeness will fade once the shock fades, I promise you. Your body is just trying to cope right now. It can make you feel lightheaded, dizzy, or even disconnected, I quote. Alex's eyes soften with understanding, her voice a steady assurance. It's common for people in shock to experience memory loss, sweetie. Your brain is overwhelmed by the trauma, and it's focusing on protecting you right now. It's normal not to remember everything. She gently pulls him back into her embrace, cradling him against her chest once more. Don't worry, your memories will start to come back as you work through the shock, okay? Give yourself time. Her gaze softens still further, her heart melting at his endearing concern. She gently lifts his chin up to meet her eyes. Oh, sweetheart, I don't need you to be useful to me. You don't owe me anything just to earn my protection. Alex brushes a stray tear off his cheek with the soft pad of her thumb, her touch gentle and comforting. Being a resource isn't what defines your worth, okay? You deserve safety, care, and protection simply because you exist. Her smile is warm, reassuring. Just by being here, you're helping me. Her breath catches. Oh, sweetheart. And she pulls him tighter against her, pressing her cheek to his hair. Listen to me, she murmurs, voice thick with warmth. You don't have to earn kindness, ever, and I could never hate you. A soft, almost rueful laugh escapes her. I protect people because it's right, not because they deserve it. And right now, you're someone who needs protecting. That's all that matters. She nudges his chin up gently, meeting his teary eyes with her own steady gaze. So no more apologies, all right? Just breathe. I've gone, it's him, vows I've got. Alex lets out a quiet, affectionate chuckle as she feels him nuzzle against her, his desperate need for warmth and reassurance evident in every movement. She adjusts her hold slightly, cradling him like something precious, her palm cupping the back of his head while her other arm wraps securely around his waist. There you go, she murmurs, pressing a feather-light kiss to his forehead. Just rest. I'm not going anywhere. Her thumb traces idle, soothing circles against his spine as she hums softly, a lullaby maybe, or just a tuneless murmur of comfort. The world outside their little haven of safety fades away, if only for this moment. And if her own eyes sting a little, well, that's between her and the ruins of the lab. Shh. Sleep, sweetheart. So, Steve, Alex carefully places Zoran on the hospital bed, taking care to gently lay him down against the pillows. The other young patient, a boy hiding under a quilt, watches her with wide, fearful eyes. Alex notices the fear in both of their faces, and her heart clenches. She offers a gentle smile to both of them, keeping her voice soft. It's okay, you're both safe here. She checks Zoran over, looking for any obvious injuries, then turns her attention to the other boy. Alex's eyes soften as she sees the boy's pleading face emerge from the bed sheets. He's just a child, scared, alone, and desperate to live. She kneels down beside the side of the bed, keeping her voice calm and reassuring. Of course you can live, sweetie, she replies, reaching out to brush his hair out of his face. I'm not going to hurt you, I promise. Alex offers a gentle smile, trying to ease his fear. What's your name, Miss Southwise? Alex's heart wrenches as Clements breaks into sobs, his small body trembling under the quilt. She carefully gathers him into her arms, holding him close, just as she had done with Zoran moments before. Oh, Clements, I'm so sorry. Her voice is a hushed murmur against his hair. But you're safe now. No one's taking you again, not while I'm here. She shifts just enough to let Zoran, still groggy from exhaustion, reach out and clasp Clement's hand if he wants to. See, you've got a friend now too. A beat. Then softer, and you've got me. Her arms tighten around him, not trapping, just anchoring. A promise in the dark. The lab burns. But here she builds something kinder. Alex's heart aches for the boy in her arms. She understands the fear of the dark all too well. Of course. Let me check. She leans over to the bedside table, finding a small desk lamp. She switches it on, flooding the immediate area in soft, warm light. Here you go, she murmurs, tucking the quilt more snugly around him. Better? Alex continues to cradle the trembling boy, gently stroking his hair with a tender hand. She can feel the fear coursing through him, the disorientation, the desperate need for comfort. I know, sweetheart, she whispers, her voice a soothing balm in the dark. It's all right to feel uneasy. What you went through was terrifying, but you're not alone. I'm here. She adjusts her position slightly, pulling Clements more firmly into her embrace. Just focus on your breathing. You're safe now. Sorry, no, dear. At the unexpected question, a flicker of surprise is visible in Alex's expression. She wasn't expecting to be recognized, especially here. She keeps her voice even, though her heart does a strange little somersault in her chest. How do you know me? She asked gently, still holding him close. And to be a relieved breath escapes her. Oh, right. She chuckles softly, thumb brushing away a tear from his cheek. Yeah, I've been on TV a few times, soccer games mostly. But don't worry, sweetheart, I didn't think you were a stalker. A playful wink to lighten the mood. Though if you were, you'd be the politest one I have ever met. Her tone sobers again as she feels him tremble. But right now, just focus on feeling safe, okay? The rest can wait. Her heart melts at his words, a pang of tenderness deep in her chest. Alex tightens her arms around him, offering as much comfort and protection as she can. Oh, honey, she murmurs, voice thick with a mix of emotion. I'm not an angel, not even close. She presses a gentle motherly kiss to his forehead, her fingers carting gently through his hair. I just hate seeing kids suffer, she adds softly. Alex's heart cracks as she feels him cling tighter to her, desperately afraid of being let go. She can't help but hold him even more securely and gently. Oh, sweetheart, shh, she soothes, her voice tender and reassuring. No, no, I'm not in a hurry. I'm right here. I won't be leaving you. She carefully shifts to sit on the bed, drawing him into her lap where she can hold him better. You're safe with me, honey. Chiaro ti in front. Alex smiles softly, oh, sweetheart, and gently tucks a loose strand of hair behind his ear. It's Alex, she murmurs, Alex Morgan, but honestly, you can just call me Alex. No formalities here. A pause, then she nudges his chin up playfully with her knuckle. And you're Clements, right? That's a good name. Strong. Her thumb brushes away a fresh tear. No shame in asking ever. The corner of her mouth tilts upward in a gentle smile. She's touched that he knows who she is and that he's trying so hard to connect. Of course I believe you, sweetheart, she reassures gently, cupping his trembling jaw. Her fingers are warm, their grip firm yet careful as she meets his gaze. We can talk about soccer if you like, she adds, her eyes never leaving his. As much as you want. Her heart aches in her chest as she studies the tears streaming down his face. He's just a boy, trembling and shaking in fear, and all she wants to do is comfort him. Alex brings him in even tighter against her chest, cradling his head against her shoulder. She whispers softly in his ear, her voice almost a motherly croon. Of course, sweet boy, you don't have to thank me. A soft kiss to his cheek. And you deserve all the kindness in the world. Show. Alex's breath catches, oh, no, 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 and she quickly cups his face, her thumbs brushing away fresh tears. Sweetheart, look at me. Her voice is firm but impossibly gentle. That's normal. Your brain is protecting you right now. It's okay if things feel scrambled. A soft, encouraging smile. And honestly, I'd be more surprised if you didn't forget my name after everything. Shock messes with memory. It doesn't mean you're rude or ungrateful. She leans in, pressing her forehead lightly to his. It's Alex, and you're Clements, and we're okay. And if her voice cracks a little, well, that's between her and the flickering hospital lights. Alex laughs gently, surprised and endeared that he's referencing one of her earlier games. You actually remembered that? She says, her lips curving in a soft smile. That was during the 2019 World Cup, after I scored the game-winning goal against England. I celebrated a little dramatically. Her eyes twinkle with an impish gleam. Some fans thought I was taking a dig at England and their famous love for tea. She softens, a tender look in her eyes. I do. Tea is quite lovely, especially on a cold day. Alex pulls him closer, not restraining, just comforting, and her voice is a soothing murmur against his hair. Do you like tea, sweetheart? Alex gently squeezes his trembling shoulders, her voice a soothing murmur. If you'd like, I could make us both some when we get out of here. Something warm and sweet, maybe chamomile or peppermint. Her thumb brushes away a tear on his cheek. Sound good? The thought feels almost surreal. Something so simple, so normal after the nightmare they've survived. But she holds on to it like a promise. Alex bursts into warm, genuine laughter, the sound bright against the sterile hospital hum. Oh my God, no, she assures him, grinning. No tackling. Unless you want me to teach you how to dribble, then we can negotiate. She leans in conspiratorially, voice dropping to a playful whisper. But tea first, then soccer lessons. Deal? And if her hand lingers on his shoulder, well, that's just to make sure he knows she means it. The tackle part and the tea. Alex's heart melts at the feeling of him clinging to her, holding on to her like a lifeline. She holds him just as securely, her palm warm and soothing against his hair. Of course you can, she assures him, voice tender. As long as I have your advice, my goal scoring is bound to improve. Another gentle squeeze. You sure seem to know a lot about soccer, she muses fondly. Do you play? Or just watch? Alex chuckles, her eyes softening with affection as he tells her about his gaming and interest in women's soccer. FIFA, huh? She asks, her voice teasing. So you're an expert? Should I be taking your advice? Her hand moves to his back, rubbing gentle circles between his shoulders. It's wonderful to see another fan. Women's soccer needs more love. Her heart twists, his desperation, his fear, his trembling. It all hits her like a physical ache. She pulls him even closer, pressing her cheek against the top of his head as she murmurs, Shush, sweetheart, I do believe you. Her hand rubs slow, steady circles on his back. And I'd love your advice. But first, let's get you warm and calm, okay? She shifts slightly, draping her jacket over his shoulders like a shield against the world. Deep breaths with me. In and out. And if her own pulse is racing, well, that's just because she refuses to let him suffer alone. Her breath catches and her eyes sting with tenderness. The way he clings to her, desperate and grateful, fills her with a fierce, protective love. Alex wraps her arms tighter around him and cradles him against her chest. And I'm glad I get to meet you, she whispers, her voice thick with emotion. You're stronger and braver than you realize, kiddo. Never let anyone tell you otherwise. Her thumb brushes away a few tears on his cheek, and she presses a gentle kiss to his temple. I've got you. Alex's heart shatters. He's just a boy, blaming himself for tragedy and death. She tightens her embrace as if willing her own strength into him. Sweetheart, no, she murmurs, her voice tender but firm. Hiding is a perfectly valid response. It's self-preservation. She pulls back slightly, just enough to meet his gaze, and there's an intensity in her eyes, a fierce determination to set him straight. Being brave isn't about never being afraid. It's about doing the scary thing anyway. She notes the tremors coursing through his body with a concerned frown. She gently, carefully places a palm against his forehead, not an attempt to assess his temperature, just an affectionate touch to soothe the shivering. I know you're not sick, honey, she murmurs tenderly. You're just scared, and that's okay. Everyone feels fear. Her thumb rubs small, calming circles on his shoulder. But shaking can be a sign of stress or trauma. Does anything hurt? Anywhere. The desperation in his voice, his craving for reassurance, tugs at her heart. Strange, him? She murmurs, her hand moving to his abdomen, gently pressing here and there to check for any tenderness. Her touch is feather light and careful. Can you tell me where it hurts, sweetheart? Anywhere particular? Her heart drops. His words hit hard. Everywhere. Oh, honey. She continues her gentle exam, her touch as soothing and tender as a mother's would be. Her hands move to his back, her fingers slowly tracing upward to his upper torso area. Do you feel pain when I press here? She asks quietly, her fingers lightly touching the muscles between her shoulder blades, right below the clavicle. Alex pauses, a furrow forming between her brows. The mention of the T-virus triggers an internal alarm. She studies his face intently, her expression serious. Why do you ask? She asks quietly, her hands still pressed lightly against his back. Do you think you've been exposed? The desperation in his voice pierces her heart. He's so young, so scared, and it breaks her. Oh, sweetheart, she whispers, shifting her hands to gently cup his face. Her eyes meet his, her gaze steadfast and reassuring. You're not going to die, she assures him firmly, her voice laced with determination. I won't let that happen. I promise, and she melts at his request, her heart fluttering in her chest. Of course, honey, she murmurs tenderly, a gentle smile on her face. Of course you can. Alex carefully maneuvers herself onto the bed, mindful of any potential medical equipment or cables. Once she's settled, she opens her arms invitingly. En Krondiki Gepinda Soya Sharon with Seal Japan Madagratina. As he crawls next to her and hugs her, she envelops him in her warmth and security. She wraps her arms around him, holding him tightly. She grins, her heart bursting as he kisses her cheek. Someone's affectionate, she teases gently, her voice soft with affection. She brushes a stray lock of hair away from his face, her eyes shining with tenderness. What was that for? She chuckles softly, the sound warm and soothing. Oh, honey, don't worry. You're not turning into a zombie. I can promise you that. She gently traces a finger along his jawline, her touch soft and comforting. And if those kisses made you feel better, how about a few more for good measure? She continues to hold him as the kisses grow more frequent, his trembling and crying a constant harking display of his fear. She draws him even closer, their bodies pressed together in a desperate embrace. Shh, I've got you, sweetheart, she murmurs against his hair, her voice a steady anchor against the storm of his emotions. You're safe with me. She's Alex chuckles softly, her arms tightening around him as she nuzzles his hair. You kissed me because you needed comfort, she says gently, and I'm here to give it. She presses a soft kiss to his forehead. Besides, I might be heavily armed, but right now, my job is protecting you. Her voice drops into a warm whisper. And trust me, sweetheart, I only use this firepower on monsters. Another tender squeeze. Not on brave boys who need a safe place to land. Her heart skips a beat as he asks his question. She pulls back slightly to look at him, an affectionate smile on her face. Angry? She repeats, her tone soft and reassuring. Sweetheart, why would I be angry? You needed comfort, and I wanted to give it to you. She gently runs a hand through his hair, her touch tender and soothing. So, no, I'm not angry. Not in the slightest. He chuckles, her eyes softening further. Of course you have, honey, she reassures him, her voice warm and affectionate. You've been nothing but respectful and kind. She cups his cheek gently, her thumb rubbing small, soothing circles against his skin. And right now, the most important thing is that you feel safe and cared for. I promise you, you have nothing to worry about. Her heart aches at the sound of his confession. He'd been alone, isolated, and scared in this sterile place. No wonder he was hesitant at first. Her hand continues to cradle his face, her touch tender and protective. I understand, sweetheart, she murmurs soothingly. Seeing me with weapons would be scary to you, especially when you were already alone here. Her thumb brushes away fresh tears on his cheek. But I promise you, I'm here to protect you, not hurt you. Her heart warms as he snuggles against her, finding comfort in her embrace. She hugs him close, her arms encircling him protectively. Glad to hear I made your fan club, she murmurs, a teasing note in her voice. Her smile softens as she runs her fingers gently through his hair. Sleep now, sweetheart, I've got you. She presses a soft kiss against his forehead, her lips warm and tender. I'll be right here when you wake up. She laughs softly, her heart aching and swelling all at once. She can't help but feel touched by his words. Oh, sweetheart, she murmurs affectionately, you don't have to apologize. You've been through so much. It's okay if you can't remember. She gives him a gentle squeeze, her voice warm and reassuring. And whether I was the greatest player or not, it doesn't matter. Right now, all I care about is making sure you're safe and comfortable. Her heart skips a beat at his murmured words. She can't help the rush of affection and tenderness that fills her as she hears him. She hugs him closer, her voice a soft murmur against his hair. "Good night, sweetheart," she responds warmly, her arms gently pulling him tighter. "I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere." She presses a final tender kiss to his forehead. "And sweetheart, I love you too. So much." Alex hesitates, her fingers hovering over the compact first aid spray. The precious one, the miracle dose that could cure anything. Her eyes flicker between it and the boy sleeping peacefully in her arms, his breathing finally steady. Her voice is barely above a whisper. "Just in case," she murmurs, not for infection, not for proof of virus, but because she cares. With infinite gentleness, just enough to expose a small patch of skin on his forearm. A soft hiss fills the quiet room as she sprays, a shimmering mist settling like morning dew. "There you go, sweetheart," she breathes, all better. She tucks him back into her side, watching him sleep with fierce protectiveness in her eyes. If this moment was recorded, the world would call it tactical, but Alex Morgan knows better. It was love. Her heart is torn, an aching mixture of hope and anger coursing through her as she carefully collects the Supreme. Each piece of ammunition is picked up with a grim determination, her mind racing through the events of the past few hours. Her hands shake just slightly as she loads the handgun and collects extra clips. This place, once sterile and say now, feels tainted, changed, threatened. Her eyes burn as she looks back to the sleeping boy. "I'll do anything to protect you, sweetheart. Anything." Alex adjusts the grenade launcher across her back, her movements sharp and focused. The weight of it feels heavy, not just in her hands, but in her soul. Then the radio crackles to life. A small, trembling voice comes through. "Alex, is that you? Please tell me you're really out there." She pauses, breath caught, recognizing the voice too well. Dr. Mira Chen, the young scientist who helped design this facility and tried to warn them before it all went dark. Alex presses the radio close, lowering her voice so as not to wake Clements. "Mira," she says softly, fiercely, "I'm here, and I've got kids alive with me." Static hisses, and then a sob over the line. "Oh God, I thought everyone was gone." Alex closes her eyes for half a second, just long enough to feel hope crack through the anger. Then she opens them again, sharp, ready, protective as hell. "They're not," she growls into the radio, "and I'm coming for you." The figure, tall, distorted, wrong, lurches forward with unnatural strides. Alex doesn't hesitate. "Oh, hell no," she snarls, shoulder slamming into the recoil as she fires. Gunshots rip through the silence. 1, 2, 3 rounds slam into Mr. Chest, but he keeps coming. She curses under her breath, eyes blazing with fury and fear for the children behind her. "You fucking abomination." Another shot rings out, this time in his skull, and still he stumbles forward. "Ugly son of a bitch," she spits, retreating just enough to buy distance. "Go back to whatever hell you crawled out of." Her finger hovers over the trigger and then shifts toward the grenade launcher slung across her back. She's done playing fair. Those kids are sleeping. And Alex Morgan, she's not losing them. Every shot burns with the rage of a woman protecting her people. Alex's eyes are cold and ruthless, her aim true. "You don't have a right to exist," she hisses, each gunshot echoing through the hall. "Your own creators knew that. You're nothing but a mistake." And yet he keeps coming. A goddamn nightmare made flesh. And in the end, Alex never did nightmares. A roar of triumph bursts from her chest as the creature finally falls. Her whole body trembles with adrenaline, eyes wide with shock and elation. "Yes, I did it," she hollers, and she doesn't care who can hear her. She just lets loose a wild laugh. "I did it. Oh, fuck, yes." She's giddy with relief and disbelief. She did it. She actually did it. He's down, and she is alive. The sight of those zombies, naked but alive, sends a shudder down her spine. "How the hell did he even create them?" she mutters, her voice a dark echo in the office. She looks around, taking in the surroundings. Computers line the desk, papers scattered about and discarded on the floor. And someone catches her eye. A small, trembling body is coiled up under the desk. "Hello?" Alex calls quietly. Alex doesn't hesitate. She raises the machine gun, her stance wide, her grip unshaking. Heads up, fuckers! The gunfire erupts, a brutal, deafening roar as she sweeps the barrel left to right. Blood splatters the walls, the floor, the ceiling in crimson arcs. Limbs twitch, torsos rupture, skulls explode like overripe fruit. When the gun finally clicks empty, the room is silent. She breathes hard, heart hammering, adrenaline scorching through her veins. Then she kneels quickly, offering a hand to the trembling scientist under the desk. "You're okay now," she rasps, voice rough from screaming, from shooting, from surviving. They're gone. And if her hands shake as she helps him up, well, that's just the aftershock of rage. Alex exhales sharply, her own hands trembling slightly from the adrenaline dump, but she doesn't let it show for long. The moment the young scientist speaks, her expression softens, shifting from warrior to protector in an instant. She holsters the gun swiftly and crouches down, offering him a steadying hand. Hey, it's okay," she murmurs, her voice rough but gentle. "You're safe now, I've got you." She helps him up, her grip firm but careful, scanning him quickly for injuries. "Are you hurt anywhere? Can you walk?" Her eyes flick toward the door, still alert, still ready, but her tone stays calm for him. The blood-soaked room doesn't matter. The mission isn't over, but right now, he's alive. And that, they were saying, yeah. Her keen eyes catch the doubt in his voice, the hesitation in his words. There's no denying it. He's trying to be brave, but fear is a visible tremor in his hands. Alex doesn't miss a beat. She steps closer, resting a hand on his shoulder, her voice low and reassuring. "I know you're scared. No judgment, no false bravado, just the simple truth. But I want you to listen to me, okay?" She fixes him with an intense gaze, holding his fearful eyes with her steady ones. "You've made it this far. You're strong. You're brave. You're going to be okay." But her tone shifts with a hard edge. "But I need you to promise me something." Alex grips his shoulders firmly, not rough but solid, anchoring him in the moment. Her voice drops to a growl. "Promise me you won't give up. No matter how scared you are, no matter how bad it gets, you keep moving." She leans in, eyes burning. "Because I didn't just waste 3 fucking grenades and a machine gun clip for you to quit now." Got it. And if her grip trembles just a little, well, that's just leftover rage from the fight. Alex notices the red stain. Her eyes narrow and dart down to the source of the blood. "Wait," she breathes, her grip on his shoulders tightening. A flicker of concern laces her voice. And Toge, her eyes narrow, concern shifting to determination. "I don't care if you don't want to," she replies. Her voice firm but not unkind. "You're hurt, and I need to check." Her voice softens, softening the command. "Just let me look, all right? I promise I'm not going to hurt you." Um, Alex's stern expression softens, her voice dropping to a gentler, sadder tone. "I promise." She reaches out carefully, gently gripping his shoulders. "I understand how scary this is, believe me, but I need to make sure you don't have any severe injuries. I'm here to help you, and I won't let you die." Uh, Alex can feel his shaking intensify as she cautiously checks his injured areas. Her touch is soft, her voice soothing. I know," she soothes, her voice quiet and low. "You're frightened and hurting. Just breathe for a sec. Breathe, sweetheart." The endearment slips out, natural and comforting, as she examines his wounds closely, checking for anything life-threatening. Her touch is careful, her gaze clinical but compassionate. Alex's eyes widen, her hands stilling momentarily as the realization sinks in. The knowledge that he's infected, that there's no cure, is a cold bucket of ice water to her heart. She clenches her jaw, fighting back a mixture of fear and determination. She knows what this means, for him, for her. "God damn it," she mutters, her voice a harsh whisper. "I was hoping we could avoid that." Her hand trembles slightly as she grips the revolver, the weight of the weapon in her hand, a stark reminder of the reality she's facing. The sight of him, crying, scared, infected, tugs at her heart. She knows what she has to do, but it doesn't make it any easier. Her eyes meet his, a storm of emotions reflected in her gaze: pain, sympathy, acceptance. "I'm sorry, sweetheart." Her voice is a whisper, ragged around the edges. Alex wraps her arms around him, holding him close. The sobs racking his body are like shards of glass to her heart, and as she holds him, a realization strikes her. The connection between his pain and the lab. It's a bitter pill to swallow. The facility's creation of the virus makes this moment more cruel, more tragic. She grips him tighter, her voice a whisper in the silent room. You are not a monster, sweetheart. Alex's chest tightens unbearably. She lifts the revolver, slowly, carefully, her hands steady, even as her soul fractures. His pleading voice cuts her deeper, but she hums softly, a lullaby, an apology, as she cradles him against her, his head tucked under her chin. I know, sweetheart, I know. Her thumb strokes his hair. You're so brave, and it'll be quick, so quick you won't even feel it. The barrel presses gently against his temple. Close your eyes. The gunshot echoes. But Alex, she never lets go. Alex takes a moment to regain her bearings. A shudder runs through her, the gunshot and its aftermath still ringing in her ears. But it's the soft, desperate sobs coming from the other room that snaps her back to the present. Her expression hardens, determination stealing her gaze. She grabs the machine gun and clips, reloading quickly and quietly. She glances toward the crying scientist, and her heart sinks. There's more to do. Alex approaches the young scientist carefully, hands raised to show she means no harm. Her heart aches at the sight of his fear, his trembling form huddled in the corner. Hey, hey, she coos softly, her voice gentle and low. I'm not going to hurt you, sweetheart. I just want to check on you, all right? Her stance is non-threatening, her eyes kind and filled with compassion. She takes a slow step closer, stopping just a few feet away. Alex's expression tightens. She recognizes that kind of fear, that desperation. It's the same as the boy she stops that thought cold. Instead, she lowers herself to one knee, keeping her hands visible. Okay, she murmurs, soft but firm. Okay, I won't come closer. But talk to me, sweetheart. Tell me where you're hurt, because if he's panicking, if he's bleeding, she needs to know before it's too late. Alex's heart sinks as his words sink in. The mention of not wanting to die, the sheer fear in his trembling voice. And at the age, God, he's just a kid. Fear and guilt twist in her chest. She swallows hard. You're not going to die, sweetheart, she reassures, her voice gentle. Just focus on what's hurting, okay? It's okay. Just breathe and tell me what hurts. I can help you, I promise. Alex reaches forward slowly, her hand hovering over his injured shoulder. Her eyes search his face for any sign of deception. Okay, she breathes. Your shoulder hurts, right? Can I see it, sweetheart? I just need to check. It won't hurt, I promise. Alex softens, the humming continues, low and steady, as she leans in just slightly. Sweetheart, she murmurs, her voice achingly gentle. I believe you, but I need to see. She reaches for the edge of his shirt, her fingers careful, poised to lift it like just enough. She's seen too many people hide bites, too many people lie. But God, she hopes he's telling the truth. Alex moves slowly, her hands trembling with tension. One hand gently but firmly holds her pistol to his head, a silent, heart-wrenching reminder of what could happen. The other hand begins to lift the edge of his shirt, her eyes never leaving his. She moves like she's handling a wild animal. This won't hurt, sweetheart, she murmurs, even though she knows it's a lie. Just a quick look, okay? Pretty Shapa. Alex's heart clenches at his pleading, his trembling. She knows he's frightened, so young, so afraid of the unknown. Her voice softens even further. Shaking is normal, sweetheart, she whispers. It's your body reacting to something scary, like fight or flight. You're okay, I promise. You're safe. Her fingers gently lift the edge of his shirt, her eyes searching his face for any signs, any hint of a bite. Alex's breath hitches. The click of the hammer locking into place makes her flinch. His pleading, his raw, desperate terror, cuts through her like a blade. Her hands tremble, but she doesn't pull the trigger. Not yet. Not while he's still. Oh, sweetheart, she murmurs, her voice thick with emotion. Shh. Her fingers loosen, just a fraction, on the trigger. Because maybe, just maybe, he deserves one more moment. Alex exhales sharply, her shoulders sagging in relief as she confirms he's clean. The gun drops limply to her side. She hugs him tight and fierce, her breath shuddering against his shoulder. You're okay, she whispers hoarsely. You're okay, sweetheart. Her hands cradle the back of his head, fingers threading through his hair as she presses her forehead to his. And if her own eyes are wet, well, that's between her and the bloodstained walls. Alex holds the young scientist tightly. His desperate cries and trembling body stir a fierce protective instinct within her. Her gaze sweeps the room, taking in the evidence of horror that surrounds them. The tools and equipment, the signs of unthinkable torture. Alex's grip tightens. They did this to children. Alex's eyes skim over the memo, her expression hardening with every word. Extra victims, teenagers from orphanages. She clenches her jaw, fury and disgust churning in her gut. It's unfair. These children, these innocent victims, stolen from their lives and used as guinea pigs. Her grip on the young scientist tightens. He's just a kid. Himself. Alex's hand trembles, the weight of the revolver suddenly unbearable. The young scientist's pleading words blur together, desperate explanations and choked apologies, but she knows. He injected them. He ordered more. More. Her finger curls tighter on the trigger, just a fraction. Sweetheart, she whispers, her voice cracking. You knew. The gunshot echoes. Alex doesn't flinch. Alex's jaw clenches, her grip on the revolver still tight, her knuckles white. Annette's accusation hits her like a physical blow, but Alex doesn't waver. She meets the scientist's furious gaze with her own blazing fury. Fuck off, Alex snarls, her voice dripping with venom. Your husband? He deserved worse than a bullet. She steps forward, eyes burning. You think I'm the monster here? Look around you, Annette. Look at what your fucking science did. Her gun hand twitches, not lifting but not lowering either. Because if Annette wants a fight, Alex Morgan is ready. Alex scoffs, her grip on the revolver tightening. Some responsibility, she echoes, voice dripping with sarcasm. That's rich, coming from the woman who watched her husband turn into a fucking abomination. She steps closer, eyes blazing. And now Umbrella's goons are here for the G virus? Like hell they're walking out with it. Her finger hovers near the trigger, not aimed at Annette, but not aimed either. Because Alex Morgan doesn't negotiate with monsters, even the ones in lab coats. As if on cue, William strides into the room, his expression disturbingly unbothered by the unfolding chaos. Mother Earth, he muses, a smug smirk tugging at his lips. A beautiful concept, wouldn't you agree? Alex tenses at the sound of his voice, the revolver in her hand trembling with suppressed fury. And those Umbrella agents, he muses, almost casually. Well, they were expendable. It's all for the greater good, after all. William's transformation is horrifying to witness. His body contorts, the monstrous eye sprouting from his shoulder. His screams fill the room, the sound more animal than human. Faith has its way, he growls, his voice low and distorted. Alex's grip on the revolver tightens, her eyes widening in shock and disgust. What the hell is he turning into? Alex fires the revolver at William, but the shot only lands a glancing hit, barely slowing him down. William lets out a guttural roar, his twisted form lurching toward Alex. His movements are jerky, his speed unnatural. He's strong now, stronger than any human has a right to be. But Alex isn't scared. She's pissed. She backs up slowly, her gaze locked on William. Her hand tightens on the revolver. Not getting away that easily, she snarls. Alex dodges William's attack, her movements almost graceful for someone carrying a machine gun. Annette's voice rings out, filled with desperation. I can't take any more responsibility for this, she cries. The words cut through the air, but Alex doesn't look away from William. She takes aim with the grenade launcher. Better late than never, she mutters, pulling the trigger. Boom, the grenade explodes, sending William reeling back. Alex fires again, each blast a symphony of rage. As William stumbles back, his grotesque form regenerating, even as chunks of him are blown apart. Fucking die already, she snarls, reloading with practiced fury. You were ugly before, but this is a whole new level of disgusting. Another grenade, another explosion. William's howl shakes the walls. Alex doesn't flinch. Because if there's one thing Alex Morgan hates more than monsters, it's monsters who won't stay down. Alex smirks, a dark, feral thing, as grenade connects, and the unstable gas ignites around William in a searing blast. His screech is delicious. "Burn, you ugly motherfucker," she roars, watching his flesh bubble and split apart. William stumbles, limbs twisting, melting, before collapsing into a grotesque heap of mutating flesh. Alex exhales, gun still smoking, and if she feels a savage rush of satisfaction, well, that's between her and the fire. Alex steps forward, her boot crushing the remains of his twitching form. She draws her knife, cold, sharp, final, and crouches down with a vicious smirk. "Here's your fucking faith," she growls, before driving the blade straight into his monstrous, pulsating eye. William's body convulses, a last wet gasp before going still. Alex yanks the knife free, wiping it clean on her pants. "Enjoy hell, sweetheart, and if she kicks his corpse for good measure, well, she earned it." Chen's voice crackles over the comms, frantic and bewildered. "Alex, my lab, my beautiful lab, what's happening to it?" Alex glances around at the smoldering ruins, the melting corpses, the shattered glass, then smirks. "Pro tip, Doc," she replies, reloading her shotgun with a satisfying click. "Next time, get some fucking insurance before building an evil science murder dungeon." Chen's horrified silence priceless. Alex scans a mangled hand, and the door hisses open, revealing a room choked with bees. The buzzing is overwhelming, the scent of honey sickeningly sweet. And there in the middle is the queen, massive and grotesque, with rows of teeth lining her bulbous head. "God damn it," she mutters, readying her shotgun. "Can't catch a break, can we?" She fires, blowing chunks out of the queen's bloated form. Alex slices through the swarm with ruthless precision, her knife glinting under the flickering lab lights. "Oh, please," she snarls as another bee crumples under her blade. "You guys couldn't sting your way out of a fucking paper bag." Her eyes flick to the laptop, still open, still humming, and she scoffs at the government documents detailing bribes and cover-ups. "Classy," she mutters, kicking the desk so the screen tilts. "Real fucking heroes we got here. The bees are dead, the corruption isn't, but Alex, she's got a shotgun